So we meet again, and before I get started with your NXT and Smackdown recap that I'm several days behind on, and I apologize for that, and I have the last couple of videos, and I will do it again on this one, I want to mention something that happened on Raw last night, and that was the fact that during the match with Kofi Kingston, there was an eye injury to Cesaro. Apparently what happened was, there was a message that was tweeted out by Chris Amon, who is the WWE doctor. WWE.com stated that we did some specialized testing and staining of the eye, which showed he did have a scratch on the right side of the eye. It's called the sclera and not on the cornea, which is the clear part of the eye. They're going to keep his eye patch for the next 24 to 48 hours, use some artificial tears, and reevaluate him tomorrow, i.e. today, or I guess in this case, i.e. yesterday, since this is a Wednesday video, prior to his match against Dolph Ziggler that already happened last night on Main Event, or already didn't happen on Main Event, depending on how you look at things. I don't know, because I'll shoot with you guys. This video is being taped on late night Monday. Why? Because, to be totally honest, I have to get this video out, and I don't have any other time I'm able to do it. And I need to utilize tomorrow, as in Tuesday night, legitimate tomorrow is Tuesday night, as a time so I can watch Impact and get the Impact recap done to put that up on Thursday. So this video is your Wednesday video officially, but worst winking in the history of winking is how it works. But I wanted to mention that right off the top. So that's what we found out, and hopefully Cesaro, it's nothing major, and everything will be fine. And he actually worked Dolph Ziggler on Main Event last night, which I have no way of knowing because I can't time travel for real, because if I did, obviously, I would go back for a different time. But, yeah, that's another story altogether. Let's talk NXT, shall we? NXT from last week. We started off with the new tag team sensation, the Vaudevillains. The artiste Aiden English and the strongman Simon Gotch. And, of course, they came out doing the same spiel they did last week, and they come out to very old-timey music, and they're in black and white, and it's awesome. They're facing another jobber tag team in T. Perkins. Yes, he's just called T. Perkins, and Matt Sugarman, who apparently Renee Young says on commentary is a mark for Bastion Booger. Really interesting to drop that. So we pick up midway through this very short match, and Simon Gotch has got a head scissors, and he does a turn with the head scissors, and he does clap push-ups, drops a knee, and a European uppercut, whips Perkins and English with a forearm, and Gotch comes in. English ducks the elbow, and the Finley roll from Gotch, and tag in to Aiden English. He hits the Swanton off the middle rope, and that's a wrap, and that finishes off Perkins and Sugarman. You're looking at easily one of the next NXT Tag Team Champions for sure. I don't know if they're going to be the ones that upset the Ascension or not, but I know that they will be definitely tag team champions sooner rather than later. I think probably before the year is over, Aiden English and Simon Gotch will be tag team champions. This is a very tag team heavy show in different ways, and the return of a lot of superstars we haven't seen in a long time. Our next match brought out Xavier Woods, and he has new music, and he's facing off against the debut on the NXT program on the network, not NXT, because he's done a lot of job matches in NXT normally, but the network debut of Bull Dempsey. Bull Dempsey is called the last of a dying breed. And before this match, of course, CJ Parker comes out with a sign. He's doing the Lodi thing, and he says, Earth Day is every day, and every day is Earth Day, and on the backside it says, stop the big thaw. So yes, very environmentalist he is, and this match is pretty interesting. Not bad for what it was. A chinlock and a takedown on the chinlock, and a knee drop for 2 on Xavier Woods, and clubs to the chest. Chinlock, and Woods punches his way out, catches him with a jawbreaker, charges in, backdrop over the top rope, lands on the ring apron, high kick from Xavier Woods, goes up top, and he goes to the flying body press, and Bull just swats him off, hits an avalanche, and he finishes him off with a Northern Lights bomb he calls the Bulldozer, and he gets a 3 off of that. Gets on the mic and says, NXT has for too long let the children run the household. The industry used to be run by men. I am showing you a new era, an era of a wrecking ball. I am the last of a dying breed. I am Bull Dempsey. So yes, He seems kind of a throwback. I know that gets thrown out a lot lately, but yeah, Bull Dempsey is definitely going to be a throwback, and I'm interested to see how this actually works out. If you look at Bull Dempsey from another perspective, Bull Dempsey looks like an enhancement talent from the 80s, and that's no offense to him, and he actually can go in the ring, but when it comes down to it, he looks like an enhancement talent from the 80s. So, we get a promo with Sami Zayn in the back, and he says that Tyson Kidd, he's a special kind of cat. He basically says that Tyson walked out on him, and this isn't the last he's going to see of Sami Zayn. So yes, Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd still on a collision course to meet in the ring sometime soon. We got our next match. It is Summer Rae, the gorgeous Summer Rae, with the BFFs in their corner. Obviously, we're talking about the women's champion Charlotte, as well as the boss Sasha Banks, taking on the debut of Becky Lynch, the former Rebecca Knox from Shimmer. And this match starts off with Becky Lynch in green. She has the red hair, and she's doing an Irish jig. And, of course, Summer Rae showing her ballet expertise. They have a dance-off, and Summer is distracted by the BFFs jawing with each other at ringside and not paying attention to Summer's match. And a sunset roll-up, 1-2, and a kick-out. A clothesline into a European uppercut, a big drop kick, 3 leaping leg drops, and gets a 2 off of that, and Summer goes for her kick. It gets caught. Exploder suplex, 1, 2, 3, and Becky Lynch wins this match. So yeah, great introduction to Becky Lynch, and interesting to see where she goes from here. Definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NXT women's division, and definitely can see her and Charlotte hooking it up somewhere down the line, and I think that's the right direction to go. We got our next match. It is Big Cass, Colin Cassidy, taking on Sawyer Fulton, who is wearing tights that James Earl Wright of the State Patrol would love oh so much. I should have went with Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, but I went with James Earl Wright instead with a more obscure reference. Sometimes that works. So Sawyer Fulton basically gets caught with an avalanche. He charges in, he misses the charge, and the big boot, the SAWFT soft elbow off the ropes, big leaping elbow from Big Cass finishes off Fulton. And here comes Marcus Louis and Sylvester Lafort down to ringside, the Legionnaires. They're wearing very tight t-shirts and very, very tight t-shirts. They come out, and here comes some very unfamiliar music, and it signals the return of Enzo Amore. Enzo gets in the ring, and of course, the powdering from the Legionnaires. He gets on the mic and he says, of course, he is a certified G and a bona fide stud. He says, you can't teach that. Big Cass is 7 foot tall. You can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. One word to describe these French Fugazis, and that's S-A-W-F-T, soft. And great to see the return of Enzo Amore. And I know there's one more part to this tandem, and that is a valet that has not debuted on NXT television yet, so I cannot talk about her until she debuts on NXT television. But look forward to that in the near future, that there's going to be a woman in the life of Big Cass and Enzo. Enzo and Big Cass are over like Rover in NXT, and I really think that this is where a secondary championship really would be very well utilized. Plus, I also think that Enzo and Big Cass are definitely going to be tag team championship contenders somewhere down the line as well. Once they get through this feud with the Legionnaires, that is pretty much going to have to be put on the back burner given the fact that Marcus Louis currently is injured. Now, I don't know if they did a match between the two before Louis got injured, but if they didn't, they're going to have to put that on the back burner. That also with Tyler Breeze and the fact that he broke his finger, so he's going to have to stay out of action for a bit and not get that shot against Adrian Neville in the NXT Championship. Speaking of which, that's what we call a segue, folks. Adrian Neville in a non-title match to main event the NXT show against Rob Van Dam. This match was really good as well. Great back and forth match between the two. We pick it up midway through. Corkscrew leg drop from Van Dam from the standing variety, and the Rolling Thunder connects 1-2 and a kick out. Whip in, charges in, and spin wheel kick in the corner. Whip in with a wheel kick from Van Dam. Whip in and a boot in, kick to the face. Straight kick to the face. Neville with punches out. Comes off the ropes. Sunset flip. Van Dam drops down. 1-2. And counter roll up 1-2 and a kick out. Clothesline. Ties up Neville with a tree of woe. And vicious shoulder blocks. spin kick in the corner. The O'Connor roll connects 1-2 and a kick out. So Neville and Van Dam trade forearms, and Neville gets the upper hand, flying forearm off the ropes, hits another one, spinning back kick, kick to the face, spinning back kick, comes off the ropes, drop kick to the side of the head, and he goes to the middle rope, hits the missile drop kick on RVD, 1-2 and a kick out. So he nails the springboard, and Van Dam's up, so he leapfrogs over, lands on his feet, step up enziguri kick on Van Dam, standing shooting star press, 1-2 and a kick out. So Van Dam stops any momentum and creates separation with a jawbreaker, and a front drop kick by Neville basically kind of shakes off the effects of the jawbreaker there. So whip in, reverse, Van Dam with a front slam, going for the split-legged moonsault, it misses, small package, 1-2, and Van Dam kicks out. So they trade blows, then they trade kicks to the legs, and a pop-up kick to Neville by Van Dam. Haven't seen that in a long time. Goes up top, 5-star frog splash, misses, charges in, does Van Dam, gets caught with a swinging DDT, goes up top, hits the red arrow, 1-2-3, and after the match is over, both Rob Van Dam and Adrian Neville shake hands, and that's how we end the broadcast. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention that Tyler Breeze was on commentary during the main event, and he stood up on the announce table and gestured towards Neville, and that's exactly our last image we see as we end NXT. So yeah, a really awesome show. I very much enjoyed it as always. I love the Vaudevillains. I love Aiden English and Simon Gotch. I love the team. Their cohesive nature and their tag team work is getting a lot better. They're crisp in the ring. They're definitely a throwback. I'm going to say that a lot. And I love the black and white, the grainy mantra for them. I think it works really well. Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd are definitely going to go at it again. And of course, Bull Dempsey has a nice debut. Going to be interesting to see what they do with him. If he's going to utilize the chain around his neck or if it's just going to be a prop. We have Becky Lynch make her official in-ring debut. She beat Summer Rae, and of course the BFFs left Summer for dead, basically. So this is pretty much going to split up the BFFs. I'm sure that's going to end, and Summer Rae is probably going to be wanting a shot against Charlotte and the NXT Women's Championship. With the match, Big Cass brings the return of Enzo Amore, and of course we got the Legionnaires involved, so that feud will start up if it doesn't get silenced by the fact that Marcus Lee is injured. Great main event with Rob Van Dam and Adrian Neville, and very interested to see what we're going to do with Tyler Breeze being on the shelf right now. I think he basically lets it linger for a bit, does some promos, and once he's able to compete, he gets that match against Adrian Neville, and it's going to be awesome once it happens. So yeah, that was NXT, and I know this next bit is redundant, but I apologize for that. It's just how it works, I guess, with the situation. So we're going to pick up SmackDown, and I know I'm almost a week behind, but I apologize for that. I guess it's just the time situation. So we start off with the show, and of course you know I watched the Sky Sports version of SmackDown, and my broadcast started out with Sheamus against Bray Wyatt. This match was a very hard-hitting match between the two, and Sheamus hits a battering ram, and the clubbing blows are stopped by Bray going to the floor. So Bray sweeps the leg Johnny and posts Sheamus. We come back to live action for commercial break. Ducks the clothesline. Bray with Fall of Humanity 1-2 and a kick out. So the Usos are out to even the score because Harper and Rowan, of course, are at ringside. And he puts him on the buckle. He climbs up. Sheamus punches his way off and a headbutt. And a big right hand knocks Sheamus to the floor. Same thing that happened on Raw. So the clubs to the neck, toss him back in, gets a one off of that, and repeated headbutts. The suplex toss, and he blocks the punch. Knee in, and a suplex by Bray gets a 2 count. Chin lock, and Sheamus punches his way out. Boot to the knee. Big right hand charges into a huge clothesline exploding out of the corner by Sheamus. Toss him to the ring apron. They trade blows on the apron, and Sheamus catches Bray with the clubbing blows 12 times, picks him up, and he goes for the Finley roll. Bray counters and walks in, axe handle, shoulder block, and knee ducked and over the shoulder power slam, 1-2, and Bray kicks out. 2 knee drops, goes for the cloverleaf, and Bray punches his head in order to break out of it. Kicks him off, and an avalanche, leaping back senton, connects 1-2, and a kick out. Nails the Uranagi, or he's going for the Uranagi, and Sheamus elbows out of it, charges in to a vicious Irish curse backbreaker, and he goes to the middle rope, hits a knee drop, and locks on the cloverleaf. Luke Harper comes in, nailed him with a boot from behind, calling for the DQ, and a brogue kick to Harper, and the Samoan suicide dive on the Wyatts on the floor. Bray nails Sheamus, and Sister Abigail is countered, ducks the clothesline, brogue kick, and Bray powders before the brogue kick connects. So that was a great way to set up the match that happened on the pay-per-view. Like I said, this is a very redundant recap, but at least I'm talking about the show. I'm just going to talk about the matches, basically. So we started off the actual broadcast with Triple H, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins coming to the ring. Basically, there's a lot of eras in the wrestling industry. You could call this the Authority era. So Rollins and Orton will win, and one of those did happen. Seth says we always have a plan B, just in case Orton can't get the job done. And Orton says, you know what, how about I just whip you right here and now? Triple H tries to play peacemaker and says, you know what, you can survive against the Authority, or you can thrive with it. Adapt or perish. So he brings out Bad News Barrett to face off against Dean Ambrose. We get our first official match on the show and my second match on my recap. It is the Intercontinental Champion Bad News Barrett taking on Dean Ambrose in a non-title match. I really wish this went differently, to be honest. So let's talk about it midway through. Whippin ducks the clothesline and Fez press into punches from Ambrose, tosses him to the floor and whips Barrett into the barricade. That's the first problem right there. Tosses him in and Barrett makes him eat the big boot, 1-2, and a kick out. Mounted punches, spin neck breaker, and 1 count only. Chokes him on the middle ropes, ties him up in the ropes, the repeated knee strikes. The big boot knocks Ambrose to the ring apron and then thus goes to the floor. So a knee in, whip him hard in the barricade, tosses Ambrose in, picks him up, puts him on the buckle, clubbing to the back, and of course it is World Cup season. Field goal kick does connect, 1-2, and Ambrose kicks out. Chin lock and a headbutt out from Ambrose. Very unique way to break separation there. Comes off the ropes, Barrett mows him over with an elbow, 1 count only. Chin lock, and while he's in the chin lock, Ambrose is slapping himself viciously in the face, trying to wake himself up. So he punches off, comes off the ropes, ducks the clothesline, and 2 forearms, boot in the midsection, tosses him back to the mat. So Ambrose is down. A shoulder block and an elbow face wash from Ambrose. Whip in reverse and charges in. Ambrose gets the boot up. Tornado DDT gets tossed off by Barrett. He goes for the pump handle, floats over, lands on his feet, reels back, jawbreaker lariat connects, dirty deeds 1, 2, 3, and Dean Ambrose wins a non-title match against the Intercontinental Champion. After the match is over, Jack Swagger comes out, and instead of attacking Ambrose, he goes right after Wade Barrett, and he tosses him into the barricade once, and you can tell something's wrong. He tosses him in the barricade again, and you can definitely tell something's really wrong, because he's already starting to cover his shoulder and make sure. A lot of things I'm sure were edited from this, because I know from what I heard is Barrett was cursing up a storm, and you really don't see Barrett much after this. He pretty much got escorted to the back while this was going on. So, basically, Ambrose hits a tope on Swagger and gets a ladder, jabs Swagger in the back, tosses him in, and Swagger catches him with a takedown over the top rope to the floor. Dean gets back in the ring like the spider monkey he is, double leg, pounds away, clothesline to the floor. And Swagger gets sent into Justin Roberts' land and face first in an announce table, and Seth Rollins attacks from behind, sends Ambrose into the steps, pounds away, tosses him back in, hits the curb stomp, and leaves Ambrose laying. Quite redundant after what happened on the pay-per-view. Next match is Paige and Cameron. Cameron hits a code breaker, gets a 2 off of that. A head scissors, and Paige ends up hitting the Paige turner out of nowhere. Paige and Naomi have a stare down. Cameron attacks Naomi from behind. Attacks, and Naomi and Paige end up shoving each other when Naomi gets shoved accidentally into Paige. So yeah, of course, there is a stare down, and Cameron watches laughing on, so that's the end of that. Goldust and Stardust accept this challenge for Ryback at Money in the Bank. Like I said, this is really redundant to this video. We get our next match. It is Dolph Ziggler and Rob Van Dam against Alberto Del Rio and Cesaro. Tag team action. We pick it up midway through the match. Cesaro with a chin lock. Dolph punches his way out. Gets caught in a side slam off the ropes. 1-2. Dolph kicks out. So tagging to Del Rio. He mocks Van Dam, pointing to himself. Snapmare and a drop kick to the back. 1-2 and a kick out. Chin lock and Van Dam punches his way out. Sunset flip. 1 count only. And Van Dam gets caught with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. 1-2 and a kick out. Goes up top and he nails Dolph with basically a fist drop, tagging to Cesaro. A big right hand drops Dolph, 1 count only. Chin lock, and he gets tossed to the ropes, and a satellite head scissors into a sleeper on the back of Cesaro. And Cesaro creates separation by backing him hard into the corner. Dolph fights him off in the corner, whip in, and a kick to the chest when he ducks his head down. Backdrop Cesaro over the top rope to the floor. Cesaro tossed in by Del Rio for good measure, and tag in to Van Dam. Clothesline, duck the clothesline. Standing side kick, step over spin kick on Cesaro. Rolling Thunder on ADR 1-2 and a kick out. Divorce Court on Rob Van Dam, and step up Enzuigiri kick misses. split-legged moonsault, and Cesaro makes a save before 3, and Dolph goes for the exclamation point DDT, gets popped up, Swiss Death, and kicked to the Cesaro's face. 5-star. He gets the knees up, and he locks right into the cross-arm breaker, and Rob Van Dam quickly taps. After the match is over, Cesaro and Del Rio are celebrating, and Del Rio basically says to raise my hand. Cesaro boots him in the midsection, hits the Gotch-style neutralizer, and leaves his partner laying. Usos cut an interesting promo, basically says they're flying high and they're still champions. Rusev comes to the ring to face Sin Cara. Rusev Crush, of course, and Big E comes to the ring and gets Rusev to retreat, and Rusev slides back in the ring, and Big E ends up tossing Rusev, leading up to their match at Money in the Bank. Get our main event of the evening. It is Roman Reigns against the Demon Kane, and we pick it up midway through. Kane tosses him in, ducks the right hand, leaping clothesline, whip in reverse, misses the charge, charging clothesline by Roman Reigns, the headbutts, the leaping drop kick to the side of the head, Superman punch on Kane, Orton comes in, neck snap across the top rope on Roman Reigns, calling for the DQ, boots in the corner, Superman to Orton, Kane comes in, chokeslams Roman Reigns, gets the ladder, puts it in the ring, and Randy Orton ascends it and grabs both championships and raises them up in the air, and that's how we end SmackDown. Once again, like I said, that was a redundant video, but I apologize for it. Hopefully everything will work out, and we'll do everything right the next time. What I recommend on this show, honestly, I would say that with both shows, with NXT, I would recommend if you haven't seen them yet, I would definitely check out the Vaudevillains. I know it's a squash match, but still good. Bull Dempsey's match against Xavier Woods was okay. If you haven't seen Becky Lynch yet, check out the match against Summer Rae. Big Cass and Sawyer Fulton, don't really check out the match. Check out the after effects with the return of Enzo Amore and just how over Enzo Amore's catchphrase is with the Full Sail crowd. Check out Adrian Neville and Rob Van Dam. On the SmackDown side of things, check out Sheamus and Bray Wyatt. It was good, very enjoyable. Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. Hopefully these two go at it again once Barrett is clear to go again. And I would check out Ziggler and Van Dam against Del Rio and Cesaro. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was NXT and SmackDown literally in a nutshell. So that was your video for Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're going to talk TNA Impact, and on July 4th, we're going to do AJ's movie reviews. We're going to be talking about Delivers from Evil and Earth to Echo, Tammy, as well as some limited releases as well. This coming Saturday is going to be our popcaster from across the pond, Ashley, bringing us video game coverage and the like. And, of course, on Sunday, we got a brand new Versus coming. New Halloween Horror Nights video coming soon as I get some more information, and everything will go back to normal this coming week after that, because on Monday we've got NXT and SmackDown from this week, and we also have Tuesday will be Raw, Wednesday and Thursday are up in the air. Wednesday or Thursday, one of them will end up being Impact, and we'll be able to knock that out. So yeah, that's what we got. Everything is now caught up. I'm sorry about the delay on everything, and I apologize for it, but now it's taken care of. So there's your NXT and SmackDown recaps of the week. So in the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet liked our Facebook fan page, go ahead and like our Facebook fan page. It's Sir Owen Disney Pop on Facebook. If you want to send me a friend request on Facebook, go right ahead. It's Owen Disney. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's @Sir Owen Disney. Last but certainly not least, if you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions, you want to talk wrestling with me, Universal, Disney, Halloween Horror Nights, you want to ask me questions I never answer on here for good reason, or if you'd like to become a popcaster yourself, send your video contributions, or if you have any versus ideas, you want to send those to me, you're more than welcome to email me, and you can do that by sending an email to siroandisney@gmail.com. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.